everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have such a different video for me, but I think you're going to enjoy it. I feel like I've been doing so many fashion-y kind of videos over the past year, but I've never really touched on too much like my personal style and how to look your best self when you're kind of leaving the house, how to look the most chic and put together so you feel your best as well. Trust me, most days I feel like wearing loungewear, and I do wear loungewear, a lot of loungewear. However, as I go to an office environment, and I also do like to dress up a little bit when I go out for dinner or I'm seeing friends and things, just because your clothes and your wardrobe don't just sit there for no reason. I feel like I have gained some like tips and tricks along the way on how we can make sure we're feeling our best self, but also not having to spend a fortune either. Today we're just going to talk through a series of different topics of how you can look your best self and some do's and don'ts on getting there as well. In the description box down below, I will add a timeline so you guys can see and pick out and choose if you want to go to different topics or watch the video in full. Looking and feeling your best self is something that I love to feel. I feel like if you don't feel your best self, how can you show up for the day? I don't know, sometimes I can feel like if I feel messy and not put together, I feel like it can actually really ruin whatever I'm doing because I just don't feel my best self and my most confident self either. Now, trust me, my style has massively changed over the past few years, and I've definitely geared towards more of a capsule wardrobe that's classic, and I'm trying to mimic that real classic elegant style as well that kind of is a bit timeless. So I will always reach for the same pieces in my wardrobe year after year and not keep buying into the trends. Whilst trend shopping is so fun, and trust me, I love doing it for you guys, I do feel like we really need to get the basics right before we start buying into those trends, and you will feel so much better. You will always have an outfit. Sometimes if you're buying trend after trend after trend, you will feel like you literally have no outfits or anything in your wardrobe. So it's really good to kind of start with the basics and make sure that you're feeling 100% with your wardrobe before you start buying into those trends. So on the topic of basics, that will be our first topic. So I feel like I'm slowly building up the basics that I need in my wardrobe. I wouldn't say I am there yet. I still have a long list of things that I need, but it doesn't have to be too long. I need to invest in things like a couple more white t-shirts because I've only got two kind of on rotation and I'm wearing them all the time. Longer sleeve basics that aren't just this brown and black version that I have, and things like that, just to make sure I always have things to base under looks or to just lounge around in, I guess, as well. So first of all, taking this Abercrombie & Fitch white t-shirt. This is something that I have had so much wear out of. You guys would have seen me talk about it so much. A key thing with white t-shirts and basics overall, if they're literally building the foundations of your outfit, you do not want them to look dirty or gross. Now in this instance, this t-shirt is a little bit gross in terms of it needs a bit more of a steam/iron. And I can see here that I've got a very small makeup stain that I really need to get out of this t-shirt in order for it to make it look way more presentable. That is like the little details that people do notice. Like if you have makeup all around your collar and the t-shirt's a little bit creased and it's not falling correctly, it can kind of ruin the whole outfit. So that is definitely an important part of it. And if you guys want a bit more of a video, an in-depth video on what kind of basics to build your wardrobe out of, please let me know, because I feel like that's such an important one. Now, once you take the basics, for example, your white t-shirt, your long sleeve tops, etc., then you can start to build the foundation of your wider wardrobe. That includes things like blazers, smart trousers, accessories, handbags, skirts, etc. So there's so much you can build upon from the basics. And I'm just gonna put some clips here of me kind of dressing in that more classic style. These are the kind of outfits that I have from my capsule wardrobe that I build and kind of wear to work and things like that and feel most confident and comfortable in. Yes, they tend to be on the same kind of similar style. There's not loads of colour in there. Some people might find that really boring, but I actually find that I actually prefer dressing that way. Dressing really classically is something that will always be timeless, and you will never be bored of outfits. I literally could mix up these outfits in so many different ways and swap and change things out, like swap out a satin skirt for some jeans or some nice trousers, etc. And I could literally make so many outfits, and I think that's so important as well. Now, a huge part of dressing classically is kind of finding your colours that suit you and kind of sticking to those colours when you're buying different outfits and getting different tones of those colours as well. So for me, for example, as you can see, I love dark brown. It's like my colour of, I would say 2023, 2024, but will be in my wardrobe forever now. I've discovered that I really like it. I have therefore invested in a lot of chocolate brown pieces in the past, you know, year or so, just because those are the kind of pieces that I know that I love in my wardrobe. But for me, the different colours that I tend to stick to are like chocolate browns, whites and creams like this, and also black items of clothing, so like black jeans, black blazers, black coats, etc., because they are such a great foundation. Now, there are some other colours that I like to gravitate towards too, which are like the blues, so blue jeans, blue denim, dark navy as well in terms of workout sets and things like that. I don't mind dressing in that. And also greens I also like to gravitate towards as well. Now, you may think this is really boring, but even in the summer I don't really break away from these core colours. I don't go into like super yellows, pinks and stuff. I've tried it and it's just not for me, and I just know it's not for me. I think there's sometimes like a great like joy in saying, well, that's not for me, so why am I trying to be something that I'm not? Why am I buying that £80 or £50 dress that's yellow when I know it doesn't suit me? So I do feel like really knowing what you like and then buying from that and keeping it really simple is the key to a classical wardrobe. Now, next up is mixing textures. So textures is such an important one because sometimes I feel like it can really break up an outfit, but in a good way. In the past few autumns, we have definitely seen suede as a texture that kind of really breaks up an outfit in a really nice way. For example, I have these suede brown boots that I get so much wear out of. And again, these were really affordable and on a budget. They were £20 from Zara, and I literally wear them all the time and I love them. And also other textures such as jumpers, like a cashmere jumper like this one from COS. This I bought 2 years ago. I wear it so much. It's a chocolate brown one. It's a roller neck. It pairs really well with jeans, but also pairs well with satin midi skirts and maxi skirts. I absolutely love this jumper. As well as that jumper in a cashmere, you can look at things like alpaca wool to kind of break up the tones of the outfit and make it feel a little bit more cozy and less boring. Now, whilst it's all well and good having an amazing wardrobe that is filled with your basics and your classical pieces, as I mentioned earlier, this white t-shirt was not quite up to scratch, and that's because it needed, one of the reasons was it needed a bit more of an iron / a steam. I do have a steamer, but if anyone out there is like me, I just don't love using a steamer. I find like it can do the job sometimes, but I sometimes feel like a lot of my clothes need a really solid iron. So just getting a really affordable iron and actually making the effort the week before you're going to the office to iron your outfits. For example, I'm in the office 3 days next week, so I know what my 3 outfits are going to be. I'm going to hang them up on this rail and I'm going to make sure that they are ironed and that they look presentable, because these trousers, for example, they crease like crazy. If I just fold these back up and put them in my wardrobe today, they are going to be so creased. And on a Monday morning at 5:30 a.m. when I'm leaving to go to the gym, do I really want to iron, and will I get more stressed out? Yes. So sometimes it's just better to pre-prepare and iron your clothes in advance, and you will feel so much better. There is nothing worse than feeling a little bit like your clothes are a bit creased. The only item I would say that can look okay creased but not too creased is linen when you're on holiday and things like that. But yeah, definitely make sure you're ironing and steaming your clothes. Now let's move on to accessories. So for me, I used to really only invest in kind of either really high-end designer bags that were not timeless and not classic. I bought 3 of them and massively regretted it from the age of 21. I'm now 27, by the way. They've now sold. I don't have them in my life anymore. And other kind of end of the spectrum, I'd buy high street kind of cheap bags and they would never last. However, last year I learnt my lesson and I thought, why not invest in some more mid-range bags that I actually really love and I used to love was Plen. However, I think their quality apparently has gone downhill. So another brand that I've discovered is Demelier, and you guys would have seen me talk about them so much on my channel in the past like 4 or 5 months. First of all, this is like my now go-to work bag. It's really well made. It's a great size. It fits everything in. It's super classic, super timeless. Goes with so many outfits. I absolutely love it. And they have so many options, colors, and they're all like very muted, simple tones. Now, because that's my like work bag, I obviously need like an everyday bag, which I'm not always going to take a huge bag around with me all the time. So I've also got the Vancouver in the larger size because you can fit so much in it. This kind of bag is so chic and so elegant. It goes with so many outfits, and the reason I chose this color was because it was timeless. I can wear it throughout all of the seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter. It goes with so many different outfits and I absolutely love her. She's so gorgeous and she is literally perfect, and they are way more affordable than really expensive 3, 4, 5, 10 grand bags that you do not need to be buying unless you have that money, and I don't judge you for it. But I think it's so much better to invest in bags like these, which are around the £200 to £400 price mark, and you will honestly save so much more money in the long run, especially as well, if you're buying like cheap bags over and over again. If you buy like at least 5 of them, then you may as well have just bought one of these. So I feel like it's very much like thinking about how you can just buy one thing and make the most out of it, rather than having crazy amounts of things. And that's one, really bad for the environment, but 2, it's not very good for your wardrobe either. Now, next up within accessories, I want to talk you through sunglasses. So I have 2 pairs of sunglasses in my rotation because you don't actually need more than that. You really don't need a full sunglasses collection. For example, I have this pair in tortoiseshell from Le Specs. They were £50. They're such a great pair of sunglasses. They do the job. They do not need to be, you know, your Celines that cost hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And then my second pair are these Anine Bing sunglasses, which I absolutely love. If you follow me on Instagram or even TikTok, you would have seen me wear these in every single outfit for the past 2 years because I love them so much. And I also only got these in December, but I've been wearing them way more than I've been wearing these ones now, but I absolutely love them both, and they're both timeless and classic, and I will have for life. These are from Anine Bing. They were around the £200 mark, so way more expensive than these, but the cost per wear on these is insane. Like, the amount I've worn them is amazing. Another really important accessory is belts. Belts is something that I never used to wear as of literally a year and a half ago, and I absolutely love wearing a belt now. I have like 3 or 4 really classic belts that I don't need anymore, and I also don't really believe in buying like designer belts. The only one I do have is the Celine one, but even then I do steer away from wearing it as much as I used to, which I think is the problem with designer belts. I really do think you can get some amazing ones on the high street, like this one. This one's from Add Other Stories. It's a brown leather belt. It's really beautiful, really timeless, really classic, didn't break the bank at all. The amount of cost per wear has been crazy on it because I got it 3 months ago and I've literally been wearing it non-stop. And also just having maybe a black one and then maybe a different textured one, like a suede one, and then you're good to go. You don't need to have crazy amounts of different belts, different designer this, to kind of make your wardrobe feel as expensive as possible. The final thing for accessories I wanted to talk through is things like claw grips and hair barrettes. Hair barrettes like these, or claw grips in tortoiseshell and like in a really nice, very muted tone colours, can really help just like when you want to put up your hair, when you want to look a little bit more presentable, say your hair's got really messy like mine has, by being down and putting it up in like a half up, half down situation. These kind of things add little details to your outfit and kind of make you look like you made a little bit more of an effort for the day, which I think is really amazing as well. So the next topic I wanted to talk you through is beauty, because this is something I have learned definitely the hard way over the years. I have never been someone who is good at my makeup, good at my hair, good at like just like anything overall. I'm definitely a less is more girl when it comes to these things, and I'll tell you why. 1, it's easier to maintain, and 2, for just like your own health, I don't really think you need to be overusing too much of things like hairspray, makeup, fake tan, all these different things. Now, one thing I'm not going to cover is fake tan, because I don't really fake tan ever because I naturally tan. But I know a lot of people feel a lot more put together when they have fake tan. I personally don't think that is like a prerequisite to look more put together or more classic or anything. 1, it just costs you too much money if you're doing it all the time, and also I don't even know with the chemicals, if you're putting them on your skin every single like time, 2 or 3 times a week or 2 times a week, if that's even good for you. I know some people absolutely love to do it, but it's really not for me, and I prefer to naturally tan with factor 50, etc. When it comes to other beauty treatments, I think it's really important to just keep yourself like maintained and looking your best self. So for me, I use professional hair care, so I always use like a really good quality shampoo and conditioner. My hair is always in really good condition because I always get it cut every 12 weeks to make sure that it's as healthy as possible. Once you're doing your hair, it really helps having good styling products. That includes a good heat protectant, but also invest in some good hair tools. I do have the Dyson Airwrap and Corral. I also have GHD straighteners, a GHD hairdryer, and hair curlers. All those things I kind of chop and change with what I'm feeling, but I think you like having just a good pair of straighteners which you can curl your hair with and straighten your hair with to make yourself feel that little bit more presentable. Sometimes it's so easy to go into the office or go out with friends and look like you almost have like bed hair. I mean, mine, I can't really talk, the frizz is crazy right now, but it can be really easy just to like not look put together. So just taking the time to curl your hair, straighten your hair, or even like just make sure it's brushed through nicely with a good quality hairbrush will not go amiss if you're going out and about. I also don't dye it, but I have been tempted to dye it in the past. I am like sitting on the fence whether I should actually go through with dyeing my hair, because I don't know if it's going to increase my amount of maintenance and make me look a little bit more less classic and less yeah, it's just an expense that I might not need. Also, getting things like your nails done. Mine have grown out, but at least they're a nude color, so at least you can see that, you know, it's not awful as they grow out. Sometimes I find that when people have loads of patterns and really bright colors, it can look really obvious and really tacky, but I absolutely love going for more like nude and tonal colors that match my outfits as well. I definitely stick with more like nudes, reds, sometimes browns, and that's kind of as far as I go. And also with makeup, I don't think there's any need to go too crazy. I personally like to stick to really classic and minimal makeup. I dare never go crazy. So my base is always a very light complexion stick from Merit, and then I go on with like a little bit of an Hourglass foundation kind of thing that's not too heavy, a bit of contour, a bit of blush, fluff up my eyebrows, mascara and lip gloss and some lip liner, and I'm then good to go. That way you will feel your absolute best self. And I think there's another important part where it all starts with your routine in the evening at home. So your self-care routine, whether that's your skincare, your LED masks, your having a bath, having a really nice shower, doing your everything shower where you shave and all of those things, exfoliate, dry brush, those kind of things will all set you up for success in feeling your best self and looking your best self, and the most classic and timeless. And I feel like you'll just end up looking so much more presentable. Final thing within beauty I wanted to touch upon is perfume. I don't think you ever have to go, I think it's sometimes a bit too much when people spray way too much perfume. Having one kind of signature scent that you are always drawn towards, maybe throughout the seasons, and maybe you have a 2 or 3 on rotation, or you're always discovering a new one maybe that you might want to try, is always such a nice thing. There's nothing nicer than smelling nice and fresh and everything when you're going out the house as well. Now, the final thing I wanted to touch on was jewellery. So it's something that I am not that great at. Again, it's like, if you're like me and you're just like really never really been bothered about too much jewellery, you've never been bothered about, you know, too much back in the past, but you've kind of started to find that you have in the past few years and you're really finding your style, then welcome, because that is who I am. But I like to keep it really minimal and classic. I personally don't love like loads of chunky rings, anything being too intense. I don't really like wearing a watch either, but there are a few things that I absolutely love and I feel like are so timeless and classic. And it's also what's bespoke to you as well. Like, everyone has a different perspective on jewellery. Like, I have a friend, Georgia, who looks amazing in chunky jewellery and things like that. But for me, it's just like, I'm way more, a bit more, I prefer more delicate pieces. So the first is a welded bracelet that I have here. This is actually a friendship one that I got with my friend Georgia, but these are really beautiful, and it's just got very simple symbols to show like my birth sign and things on there, which I absolutely love. This doesn't come off. It's always that, well, I mean, hopefully it doesn't come off. It's always on, so it's actually so nice, and it just adds an instant bit of delicate jewellery, which I love. Next up are a couple of really gorgeous timeless necklaces. So I've got this one from Lena, which I absolutely love. It's just got a very simple charm on it with a little diamond, and then another really gorgeous necklace. I think this one might be Astrodemu, that kind of like blends together. But again, it's just like layering that different necklace without it being too chunky as well. And then I do have my thirds pierced, so I have my first, seconds and thirds, but today I've just opted for a very simple gold hoop. Now, your jewellery doesn't have to be really expensive. This hoop is from H&M, and they've got the smaller one, which I normally wear in my seconds as well, and wearing them in your thirds as well. I feel like if you do like a really nice delicate stack, can look really beautiful, but I personally love just putting on like a simple gold hoop. Again, you look really timeless and chic with this kind of jewellery, and these are only so cheap from H&M, and they're not bad for my ears. I don't wear them in the shower or anything, but I've actually never had any issues with them at all. And then we have already touched on rings, but just to go through it again a little bit more. So these are the rings that I'm wearing at the moment. So I wear this double stack from Lena. This, sorry about like the marks, my hands get really weird in the winter. This is a really beautiful like diamond kind of encased ring, which I love, and I've stacked it with a very simple band that goes really well together. And then I've got the same but the full version on the other side. Yes, I'm not engaged. I just like wearing rings on these fingers out of all my fingers. I feel like I'm so weird like that. I just don't love wearing them on all my fingers, and it tends to be just these ones here that I like to wear them on. Anyway, those are all of my different tips for, you know, feeling your best self, looking your best self, and looking the most classic. Those are definitely some of my do's and don'ts. Really hope you did enjoy the different kind of do's and don'ts within your wardrobe. If you guys have any questions on anything I've mentioned, please do let me know down below. I would love to chat it through with you guys. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button like and comment as well. First of all, I love chatting with you guys, but second of all, liking and subscribing definitely helps me know, one, if you're liking the videos, but also it really does help me understand like what kind of content I should continue being putting out there. I love doing, like, my channel is Life with Delphi, so it's not just fashion, for example, but I love doing my fashion videos, I love doing my like orders and telling you what I got, but I also love vlogging, and I also love doing like my health and my morning routine and how I've like leveled up my life in so many different ways, because I love sharing that with you. It's something that's so close to my heart, but I also love fashion. So yeah, that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back with so many more videos in the coming week or so. I've literally got so much on the schedule. Thanks so much again, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.